Hello everyone, welcome to Southern Wreaths. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and please share my video. Today I'm going to show you how I make this beautiful eucalyptus wreath. These are the supplies I'm going to use to make this wreath. I have 1.5 of these frosted garlands from Hobby Lobby. I buy them half off. I'm not paying $20 for that. I'm using my new glue gun finally, and big glue sticks, Gorilla Glue. This vase is 14 inches, and I got this one at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby's selling the 14-inch Grapevine Wreath vases now. You also need something to cut your greenery with. I bought out all of this a few years ago. Joann's had 90% off of these, and they were like $2, so I paid like 19 cents each. So I'm going to use all of these. They're kind of messy, and they have like little balls on them. I don't know if you can see that. But I'm going to use these throughout. I'm going to make like a really nice bright summer wreath. I'm going to try to find some that are similar. I know you can't find these anymore, but I'm going to find some that are similar and link them below. So if you want to try to make this, you can. But you could technically use any kind of bright colored flowers. I'd probably stick with smaller flowers just because that's the look I'm going for with this wreath. The first thing I'm going to do is just clean up my grapevine wreath. You can see there's lots of little pieces sticking out. I cleaned it up on both sides so I could pick which side I wanted to have facing up. I'm going to have this one facing up just because it's got more things jutting out of it, and when you set it this way it's kind of lopsided. So I'm going to use this side. I'm going to go through and pull the bundles off of the garland. You could wrap your garland around your grapevine wreath or just place it around the top. I did that just to see what it would look like, and I don't like how many holes it has, and it was kind of uneven and crooked. But I guess if you worked with it, you could probably get it to work. But this is going to be what I go with because I can have more control of where each branch lands. As I pulled these off, I just stick them in baskets. I have these smaller ones because all my big ones are used up. And you can see I keep my flowers in baskets. I actually hang them on my wall because they have these holes in the back. I can just put nails in and pop them up there. If y'all want a craft room tour, just let me know in the comments below. My craft room's not perfect, but I work a lot in here, so I want it to look halfway decent. But I have like some little things that I've built that I can show you. So if y'all are interested in a craft room tour, be sure to let me know. Alright, I've let my hot glue gun heat up a little bit. This one has a high-low setting. I'm going to do it on low because when I used it on high, it was melting my plastic on the flowers I was using, and I didn't really like that because it made it harder, because then I had to go back in and reconfigure it. So my plan is to go around the first time and just glue these like flat to the center. You may need something to stick them in there. Let's see, I might be able to use my ruler just to stick things in there, with just something so you don't burn your hands. I'm going to put glue along the edge here, and I'm going to put a little bit down here. And I'm going to lay that on there, and then I'm going to kind of push this bottom part into the wreath a little bit. And it's this part that I'm pushing down. It's hard to see, but I want that down into the wreath so it'll stay. And it's okay that it's open like that because I'm going to add another one right on top of it. You can see the way these lay. It's like one's in the back and there's two on the side. Because if you lay it this way, it looks like that. I'm going to lay mine this way so that this one is touching the bottom and it covers up the next one. So I'm just going to add glue directly to this. That seems a little easier. Lay that in there and then just kind of push it down. Okay, I did want to come back real fast and point out what I found to be the easiest. So I want to gap them slightly. So you can see here's that one. I want it to come closer to this little stem here. So I'm going to take my knife, and a knife is easier, be careful. And I'm going to push it on the center part right here. And I'm going to push that down into the wreath. And I want it, you know, pretty deep in the wreath. And then I'm going to take my glue gun and put glue over it. And I'm putting like a whole like squeeze of glue. And then you can kind of, you know, form it after that. So I've got that one here. I'm going to add it right here. So I'm just going to take it and push it into the wreath. See, that one went right in. I'm going to kind of pull it to the side and then add my hot glue. Oops. Yep, see, that one wants to fight. Oh my goodness. Push it in. And I'm pushing it in kind of down and over because, like I said, I want it at an angle. When I get to the end here, I'm just going to lift this side up and push this one in carefully. Sometimes all it does is cut it, and sometimes it pushes it right in. Alright, now after you get the middle ring done, you can address all of these pieces that are bare. Like this has a big bare spot, this has one. I'm not going to completely try to fill it up yet because I still want to add my flowers, but I do want to cover up as much as possible just on the surface area. So the outside might be a little bit different than the inside just because it might be harder to find somewhere for it to stick. So your best bet with that is to add the hot glue either to this or the grapevine, and you'll just have to let it sit and let it harden. And with the Gorilla Hot Glue, you don't want to mess with it for a little bit because it takes a long time to dry. If you have quicker drying hot glue, then you won't really have to worry about that. So I'm going to kind of just go around so I'm not overlapping. And I can give it time to dry in between each one. This is how many I have left. One, two, I have 3, and I'm gonna cut them into pieces when I'm done adding the flowers, and then just add them in where I need to. At this point, you'll either have more or less left over than me. My suggestion is when you go to get your grapevine base, try to get a thin one that's as uniform as possible. That this grapevine wreath is slightly thinner in this area and this area than it is on the rest. So if you get one that's as uniform as possible and that is kind of thin so you don't have as much to cover up. Alright, I'm going to get started on adding these. I'm not sure. I think I want to do them individually so they're all about the same height because I don't really want some sticking really far up. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good height. Let me see. These are a little under 4 inches, so I'm going to shoot to cut them at 4 inches because that'll be nice when it stands up inside the wreath. So here's what they are all cut up. I tried to save enough so if I wanted to make another one I could. But we'll see if I ended up needing to add more because this might not be enough to do what I want to with the color, which is fine. This is what I have left over. I have some of these really light green petals and then the lime green ones. I still don't know if I'm going to use those or not, so I'm just going to set them to the side. I'm going to add these by color so I know that I get enough of them spread through the wreath. So I'm just going to put them to the side and then I'll start adding. So to add them, I'm just going to put glue at the bottom. And then, since these are so thin, I can literally just stick them straight in. They're really flimsy. They're not super strong. So you may have to help it out a little bit getting it into the wreath. So the easiest way for me to add things is to do opposites. So I did one here, so I'm going to do one here, and then just keep going. So that way I know I have an even amount. Now that I have all those added, I'm going to decide whether or not I want to add some of these things in. I think first I'm going to cut these up and go ahead and add them into the bare spots. I'm just cutting away the center piece. It'll be hard to stick into the wreath. Alright, I went ahead and cut some of these, and I wanted to show you my ideas. So I do like the way this one looks in there. You can't really tell it's supposed to be leaves. So I kind of like putting it right behind one of the flowers. You can barely see it. It's just going to be a different kind of texture. Okay, so this one, when you put that in, it sticks up really far, and I don't think I like that. But I trimmed it down and I put it in, and it kind of sinks into the wreath, and I think I like that. It kind of just blends in. I'm going to cut several of them and stick them through and just see if I like it before I start gluing, because I'm not 100% sure sold on this one. This one I definitely won't. With the eucalyptus, I'm just going to stick them in places that I feel is bare. I don't really want to see the grapevine wreath from the top. I'm going to go through and stick these in random places. I'm going to kind of push them up a little bit. Some of them move. I'm just going to stick them throughout in random places before I glue them, just to see if I want to add them. Alright, I made it this far and I do like them, so I don't want to go through and keep adding and then have to go back and hot glue them all. So I'm just going to hot glue the ones I've already added real quick, and then I'll continue adding. But I am trying my best to get them deeper into the wreath. I don't want them sticking out. I went ahead and cut all of the light colored ones, so I'm going to add those in. I really like these. They're supposed to be leaves, I guess, but they don't look like leaves. I think I'm done adding things, so I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to heat it up. I don't know, you probably can't see, but this thing is completely covered in strings. So I'm going to heat it up and spray it, or go over it real fast. That's how I made my frosted eucalyptus summer flower wreath. I don't really know what to call it. If y'all have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you can email me at craftingwithlee@yahoo.com. Thanks so much for watching, and if y'all learned anything today or like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.